especially from World Edit. But we're going to pass it over to the desk now as well. It's going to be Sadakist, and I heard if you rub a Morrissey poster hard enough, Henry G will appear. Take it away, boys.
And the thing is, right, the doctor, he took it out, and then he said he'd never seen one actually get in that position before, and I didn't even know what to say when he did it.
He obviously hasn't spent enough time around us. And Mitch, that's actually true. If you do rub a Morrissey poster, Henry G doesn't appear, so you should probably burn all of those posters for your own good. We're going to go into the second map. It's train. I'm still wondering why these trains are still being fixed. Obviously, the union's been on strike for a while, and Valve's not giving it attention. But they're stationary, and they'll sit here, and F3 and G2 can play around them, Henry.
We'll see what they can do. It's going to be the T-side of pistol. We always discuss the B-side is the most opportune place to go, and we're guaranteed a plant there as well. You can see Blade, he's got the Molotov as well. But Body, he's got a smoke. So two things going up against each other that cancel each other out. So if Body can save the smoke for that situation, then maybe they've got a chance of distinguishing this being a possibility. All 5 players with the upper bomb side there. This is actually kind of interesting. Not seen this kind of approach before, and Body will be waiting for them as well with that silent USP.
He's got one to Shocks. It's RPK that's going to try inside of the smoke. World Edit kills himself. Craters, why not? Makes his job easier for Smiths, who stays alive. Nearly turns around and tags up Blade as well, who's on 14 HP. The ambition was to get to B for the fast plant. The default strategy, that's not going to happen. G2 stack it up so effectively and immediately get taken down a very quick round, and G2 will start off with yet another pistol.
There it is. G2 actually capitalizing that. Flipside, like I said, inside, normally very advantageous to getting that bomb down, but they all went towards the upper area then. You've got to get down at that point. They've got the option to smoke down lower ramp and just get in together and have the position to actually plant the bomb. That was very all-in, and Body was just waiting for them. Did a ton of damage. You can see, like you said, a crater coming in as well, and it was a bit of a problem for them. No plant coming in. They're going to have to force by here on the second. G2 with a huge advantage going forward. So it's going to be Tech-9s and some smokes as well. Flashbangs coming in from Blade. They're trying to get the bomb down here in any way they can, but the problem is that's actually towards Ivy. So Blade is actually trying to sell something towards the outside area at this point. He has put himself in a decent position as well. His teammates towards Ivy. He makes a footstep, and Smiths will be taking him down, and it's going to be the 5-on-4. So at this point, Flipside are kind of removed from this situation. Going to be boosting up towards the server area as well. That looks like it was going to work out for them. Did some decent damage towards Shocks, but he's ready. And actually, Smiths trying to battle towards that Ivy area. Scream to finish things off. Can't quite do it. Shara, 2 versus 1. Picks up an M4.
And I think the ambition for Blade was to try and rush through the smoke, expecting someone to be at hell, hence the footsteps, but Smith's up above is easy to take him down with that MB7, so they try as they might, they will not get a bomb plant down, forced by, okay, they get a few kills out of it, they'll force reinvestment. In that case, it's reasonable, but it's still not ideal, as they'll have to sit pretty and go to the P250 in the hands of Shara, getting those 2 kills, but otherwise just the single smoke bought up on him, and all right, flashbang if you will, but they got to try and get a bomb down again on B, and they've got 2 players in their way of doing so again. It'll be a problem.
Might be. We'll see.
You're right. You're right. It might be. I'm sorry. Did I count my chicken before it hatched? Either way, Shocks has 1. Switches to the pistol. They push through. He's got 2. Surprisingly, in that situation, Tech-9. I take that back. He actually got 3 with the Tech-9. So
4 in total.
Yeah, that's very impressive. The second one must have just been over someone's shoulder, and I didn't even catch it. But Body, he's got Markelov to close it out. Very, very impressive for Shocks. That's big money built.
Indeed it is.
8,500.
Why not? It's going to be pretty difficult to shut this money system down for the CTs, but we have got AWPs arriving for Flipside as well. They have got 4 AKs to go with it. The utility is not amazing. There's only 1 Molotov available. It's going to come down to these all picks. We know World Edit, especially on this map, he's had some great performances. Most notably, I think it was in E-League, where he actually got like 30 kills in the first half of train on the T side. So maybe we can replicate that sort of form. We could have a real game on our hands here. This first round will be indicative of which way it's going to go, but let's go straight into this round. It's going to be Shocks. He's actually got the orb towards the lower ramp. Call this the kind of shotgun style AWP, just going in close range, go with that first shot, fall back. But no one going to be gifting him any sort of intel at the moment. But that does allow him to stay there for now. As you can see, it's going to be Shara. Tempting fate. Will he go any further? Oof, it's close.
That gun barrel nearly showed, didn't it? Little bit close. Shocks will just wait a little bit longer as well, but
there we go.
Perhaps fell asleep at the wheel, because that was an accident waiting to happen. World Edit walked into one, misses an easier shot that time though, As he flicked to the right, the player had stopped where he was already aiming, and he fires a shot that echoes off into nowhere. It's going to be Shara rotating back around on the back of this as a result, but keep in mind they still have the man advantage. 45 seconds to work with, and now starting to throw some utility through those broken windows on toward the A site. Waylander clears out Pop Dog. They've got one at main, and then a single player in the form of Markelov waiting to split from the third prong approach onto the A site, coming down Ivy for Smiths. He's playing up at quad. Spots Blade coming in from the main entrance. Does get a little bit of damage onto him. He's on 54 HP, but as he swings back out, Blade does take him down. RPK's done well to trade that, though, from on top of the train. It leaves him susceptible to Markelov, who comes in late, body catching Shara. So back and forth again. It's still G2 down a man. And that's, remember, how this all started off. World Edit finding that early pick, so that's paid off. He's still alive as well, so up on either side. It's just Markelov that offsets them with that AK. And he's not the one that's sitting on top of the bomb. World Edit, he didn't want to move too much after planting it. He's just going to set up and be a turret, try and find the information, but it's Hitch where Markelov plays. He's spotted up. No scope, not successful. It's Markelov with the AK instead.
So we said, well, he's going to be influential going forward in this series, especially on train, and he actually opened things up. Shocks towards that lower ramp. We thought he had a great position there. He had a lot of time to think about his situation, but the Pika's advantage comes in, and Flipside do get the opening pick, and it's going to be them biding their time. Didn't force themselves into any sort of difficult situations. They made sure they executed nicely towards outside. They had players towards Ivy, main entrance as well, and just capitalizing on that man advantage. They get the first round here, and it's the first gun round, but that was G2 with a lot of money, as we mentioned before, but it's going to be World Edit waiting for Scream to face, and that's one of the rifles dropping. So it's going to be a 5-on-4 and 2 pistols for G2 as well. It's going to be Smiths and RPK with 5.7. So hoping Shoxy with this AWP once again, glass cannon no less, to actually step up and see whether he can actually do anything with it. We're watching towards main entrance for now.
Don't fall asleep this time, Shocks.
Yeah, that doesn't help. RPK, he's put behind that surface. He's hoping Shoxy to that first kill, and then potentially can come down and get the spray down with the 5.7. This could work out. Markelov needs to be careful. He's by himself for sure, but teammates coming in as the flashbang does drop.
I'm surprised Shocks just sat there. I think he was hoping that they would peek before it popped and he would get the shot with the AWP, because he stood there and watched that come through. Either way, it doesn't get him a kill. Flip side, World Edit, he's on 15 HP, but he's got an AWP, so just needs to hit one shot. If I'm not mistaken, they switched the texture of the Hyper Beast, because I had one that was well worn and it looked like crap, and now it's like, looks way better. So someone can tweet me and let me know if they did change that skin a little bit. Regardless, it's 4 versus 4 now as it comes back, Shara going down. It's Shocks that does find that kill. RPK is going to try and get clever inside of this smoke. He's waiting for them to walk through. He's in the open completely, but as time goes by, he doesn't want to be sitting there when that goes away. As such, he'll shuffle over. Now the smoke comes through. It goes left side. RPK tries to catch him off 5.7, but he's not timed it correctly. They're still far enough away that World Edit hits the shot with the AWP. Blade, he'll take down Body with an AK. That's inside of the site itself. And Shocks, if he pushes through now, he could actually find World Edit, but goes for the no-scope and gets it in return through the wall. World Edit shows him exactly how it's done. 3 kills for him with the AWP, and 2 rounds now in a row for Flipside.
Yeah, G2 are clutching at straws there with that second gun round. They force-balled into it. They were relying on the AWP of Shoxy to start finding kills there, but the first kill goes in favor of Flipside. And then Shoxy couldn't really do much of it there. Another nice disciplined execution from Flipside. Didn't give too much away. Make sure they're using the smokes at advantage, locking out the CTs in those key situations. And it's going to be Flipside picking up their second round here. And a full eco for G2 now. So a great position to start stringing rounds together. It's going to be Molotovs all over the outside side, flushing out any stacked players towards this area. And it's going to be watching for exactly that. World Edit's watching for any rotations to people falling back from those Molotovs, and he's going to find 2 kills here. That's pretty much round over at this stage. Not really much you can do with the default pistols. And a 5-on-3 as Shara adds to the kill count. He's going to be finding Shocks. RPK going down as well. And there it is. Body, the last remaining player. And it's going to be a very clean round for Flipside indeed. You can see they knew exactly what was going on there. They read the economy well. Just flushing out any sort of stacked positions that can be a problem on the outside side, and World Edit knocking them down. So 3-3. We have another gun round here, but G2 still struggling, Matt. No kits, no AWPs, and utility's not fantastic. And we'll see how this round goes down. This is a great position for Flipside to be in right now.
And it's another team-based map as well. We always talk about Na'Vi in particular. We used to talk about VP and Astralis on it, but they've kind of lost their flair, to be fair. It's very much a smoke-based map, and Flipside showed a lot of that on Nuke, but couldn't close the rounds. This time around, I actually feel like they could have a very good T-half. They've always been a T-sided team with Blade at the helm, so this round, however, they've lost that man, that in-game leader, and the early pick. Minute and 30 still to work with to try and pull that back to find a pick, but that's perhaps easier said than done as G2 start to get a lot more passive in their positioning.
5-on-4. It was Blade who went aggressive towards main at the start, trying to smoke towards Ivy and sell something towards that area, but Scream facing him Much to work with as well. Does find that first kill. It's going to be towards inside. We'll be playing towards now as Shara goes towards the upper platform here. The problem is with the CTs, no orbs available as I mentioned before, so the M4s can't really justify a phase towards this area. So terrorists have got a great advantage in this sense and have a bird's eye view of the site as they go in. It's going to come down to World once again. Can he get this first pick as Body does spot the first player towards that platform? There it is.
Well, unfortunately, they find Shocks, but Body's there to trade back down the narrow corridor beside the tanker. It's another shot from RPK to take Waylander. That was his next threat. World Edit, though, does get RPK over the train. He's got to pick up the bomb and plant it. 34 seconds to do so. And instead, he's going to get a little bit unorthodox and try and spot one out before he goes for it. He could have had this down already. It would have been money in the bank for Flipside, but he wants kills, and he's going to get one on Smiths, but he's looking the wrong direction. He's anticipating the flank to come through right now. Somehow he's not been spotted in all that as Body. He's looked the wrong direction, but will eventually find him. So that, I'm assuming at that point, isn't World Edit guessing. That's got to be a missed call.
I'm not too sure. I guess when he's just assuming they'll be pinstring in that scenario. He's just someone's got to be coming for Pop Dog. I've faced 3 or 4 times, only spotted 1 player, so he's just trying to use his own game sense, I guess, his own inbuilt radar to work out where the remaining CT was. But that's Body repositioning to the exact same place as Swing got killed as well. It's quite clever in that respect and takes him down. And it's G2 picking up another round here, but still not a convincing one. It comes down to a 1v1, and they're going to be back from the Famises and the UMP.
The reason that I say that it might have been a missed call, though, is that Body actually got 2 kills from upper. So they should have known that he didn't push through.
Yeah.
So that was a bit peculiar. Either way, I understand. I totally would have expected the pincer as well, but it was just the fact that he got 2 kills that kind of confuses me.
I guess one of those rounds when you're a 1v1, you don't really want your teammates shouting things at you. You kind of want to be in the zone and use your own game sense. It's difficult to actually give those calls in, because then if it doesn't work out and you're just guessing, then it can be a little bit frustrating. But this is quite nice and wide. Like I said, a huge advantage for Flipside, even in this round. Although they lost the last, 1v1 has made this very expensive for G2. They're struggling. They've got no smokes remaining. 1 kit, 1 orb. And if Flipside pick this one up, it's almost certainly going to be a double eco. So you can see GC trying to work the frags in the moment. Body does have a decent flash towards upper, but he's going to be pushed back himself. So tug and war going on right now. As Body does face towards lower round against that first pick. He desperately needs it as well.
Can't find the second, but Shocks is there to follow up. Waylander will go down. This time they'll go for the fast bomb plant. Blade will be the one to do so. And perhaps the right call. World Edit, he'll watch down first. Ali goes back out to the second. Smiths is there as well as a player up close with the rifle. So they win that battle. They get RPK to find Blade, and guess what? It's just Markelov remaining. Come on, Markelov of old. Anders somewhere is crying desperately for you to win this round.
Molotov gets interesting. They haven't got a smoke to defuse it, so it's okay. Now it's actually
that's gone.
Yeah, if he got that kill on upper with that Molotov down as well, there was definite potential to win that round. But they have got a kit that's giving Hunter Smith. The defuse will be pretty comfortable in the end, but certainly grounds to win that one. But G2 pick it up. 3 players surviving as well. It came down to Body. Like I said, they didn't have much to work with there. It was just down to actually them being a little bit more aggressive, flashing themselves in, trying to find those first picks. Didn't work out on upper ramp, but Body readjusting, finds the first kill, back up from Shocks as well. It seems like Flipside are more than happy to execute towards the inside area, especially when they know they have the advantage in terms of the utility. So working out for them in that round. It's going to be G2 picking up a couple in a row, and this is an interesting buy from Flipside. So they've got Walded on the Scout, Waylander on the Galil, but the Scout in these sort of rounds, very difficult to make anything happen. It's quite rare someone's going to present their head to you on a plate. Let's see what Walded can do with it. So we go into round number 9. It's been quite a fast half here. CT's pretty passive now, just 1 player towards inside. That will be Body once again. Seems like he's the player to play those anchor positions most of the time for G2. There's a tag, but it's G2 finding an abundance of kills across the map. Markov does find one to turn it towards screen, but a 4-on-2. A lot of work to do here to have any chance in this round.
The Icarus fell. I do enjoy this gun, simply for its hyperbolic name, but it is going to be 1 shot going in. Biblical name, rather. World Edit going to swap that over now to an AK. He gets caught out by Smiths. And G2 finding 3 rounds on this CT side after I had stated that I thought Flipside could actually capitalize this T-half. They start to slip away just a little bit, and unfortunately, this is another map that's quite even in terms of its round, more so than Nuke, in fact. So they've really got to start accumulating these, building them back up. They've lost the money to do so. They'll go to P250s. They can justify that as they've got 3 rounds now against them. They'll get 4 if they can't win this one. So leaving themselves at 2K, picking up $2,900. They'll be fine for the next round at the very least.
Just pistols and a couple of flashbangs. The objective of this round, of course, just try and get the bomb down. You can see through towards Ivy. could be an interesting idea to try and flash out, go towards backtrack, see if you can isolate the player there. But David's Scream missing some shots there, but does finally get the kill towards Blade. He's trying to get the one tap, and sometimes that's detrimental. That's why his playstyle can be critiqued upon, because it's actually more efficient just to go for the body shots and get the guaranteed kill instead of just trying to tap headshots at that sort of range. It can put you in a very difficult situation, especially if you're not landing the shots. But 5-on-1 still, Waylander. He's pretty much out of this. The bomb's down towards Ivy. He's in Pop Dog. Tech9 in hand, just inspecting the weapon. Just going to be walking around and wasting time by the looks of things. But G2 keeping all 5 players alive, winning 4 rounds in a row now as well. So looking like they're getting into the swing of things on the CT side here.
Chat's calling me out correctly, by the way. It's Greek mythology.
Yeah.
Not at all biblical.
No.
Listen, I can't think of everything on the fly. In fact, I can hardly think of anything, Henry. I just read the kill feed.
Not in your current form. But normally...
What is wrong with my form?
Well, it's the way you spend your weekend.
What's wrong with Final Fantasy VII for 36 hours without moving from a chair?
Nothing wrong with the game, but 36 hours hurt. That's the problem.
Look, I've been trying to just talk to every single character in the game. I like to know their story. It's very dramatic. I still get sad when Ares dies.
Me too. I cry every time.
Scream. He can cry this round. World Edit's found him. Shara's going to follow it up with Smiths as they set a crossfire inside of A main. Back to basics here for Flipside. Play the picks early. Now get the Molotovs out toward the site, and Shocks, he'll get boosted up on Ticket Booth. This might be their only chance back into the round, considering how much they've lost already. RPK goes out, finds one back, but he falls 4 versus 2, and I would say that's considerably worse than what would have been, obviously, a 5 versus 3, not great, but at least you can triangulate, play off of each other. Now you've almost got to be perfect with your peaks and make sure that you're utilizing the 2 players left perfectly, and unfortunately, they're both coming from the same part of the map. Body has managed to get toward third alley, but with Shocks gone already, he was not in a position to capitalize on his death, and he'll just have to fade away and potentially keep this, AK.
I said World Edit was going to be the pivotal factor for Flipside here. Once again, he's opening it up, pretty much getting all the kills here. 3 for him in this round. Shara picked up the 4th, but we know World Edit's so deadly here. Like I said, Ely, he had one of the craziest performances on train I've ever seen. He's a very impactful player for Flipside. They love to work the picks. It's kind of similar to Guardian in that respect. We talk about them having a similar play style to Navi, but he's just definitely one of those AWPers that can just really light up the scoreboard. 4 kills from this round, just carrying them through these rounds they're picking up. So great work for him, coming on 13 for 7. Round number 12 comes in. We'll have a look at the money for G2. Definitely enough to buy here. You can see Shocked $8,200. Screaming similar position as well. And it's Leet, Matt. It's Leet on the scoreboard.
It is Leet. That's pretty legit. World Edit is confirmed Leet.
That's kind of cool, I guess. I've seen that before.
Shocks can't find a lucky shot through to A main. The smoke thrown out, though. Scream's going to try and play off that watch toward Pop Dog. Flash over top. Won't do much. It's just the one from the window. I like this. Why not? Works perfectly, doesn't it? World Edit gets above smoke, spots the player in the back train.
They're almost baiting the CT to go out in that position. They do the 2 smokes to take away the vision and just say, well, we don't even go out on this position. See what CT's reaction is. Smith goes up and said, oh, I need to see what's going on.
They've got to man it. Yeah, they have to try and pull something back, and Body, he can't find it. They've already got the man advantage. Now they get 2. I do like that there's multiple ways that you can... Oh, nice pickup from Scream. Yeah. Multiple ways you can use smoke to bait people out, to cut people off, to isolate them. There's so much you can do between smokes and Molotovs in this game, and I think... there's no, one way to skin a cat. There's multiple ways to skin a cat. And it depends on what you want to try and achieve. If you're playing picks and you just want to get that AWP down, they've done it correctly in this round. However, look at G2 go back into it because it Shocks and Scream to start this off. It is down to just Shocks remaining after Scream gets 3 amazing kills. Markelov with only 2 HP, though. This is a problem. However, Shocks are going to stick to this AWP in the process. Bomb down outside of A main. Markelov has to go back over toward it. AWP is going to spot him up, and Shocks will hit the shot regardless of the HP.
Yeah, I guess he doesn't give the information on the ESL. I'm not 100% sure whether you get that in the console, but still, he will use the to finish things off and nails the shot as well. So 8-4. G2 have 1.5 here in the money. Once again, for Flipside, not great after winning 1 round. They have been reset here. There is potential to do a force buy, but I'd say considering the stage of the game we're in, they just want to get maybe some PG50s, Tech9s. Okay, what are they going with this? It's going to be Markelov just with the... I'm not on the server. Could I see the money, please, Rush, to see where they're going with this? Okay, so it pretty much is a force bet. Got 2K remaining on World Edit. Waylander with 1,400. So this is pretty much all in. World Edit, okay, he's saving his money so he can get the up towards the final stages of the half, I guess. They're going to try and see what they can do here with these 2 rifles.
I mean, 8-4 is very good for G2 at this point in time, considering the money. You get 9 or 10 rounds. 9 rounds, okay, CT. It's good. It's not, you're not out of the woods, but 10 rounds.
At this point, right, it's
pretty
Flipsid.
damn good CT.
They know a lot of these rounds come down to like 1v1 situations. You can see the money has been got quite low for G2. They know if they do win this, if they somehow pull it off with this low buy, that could mean 2 in a row for them. So I don't mind this risk at all. It's just going to come down to something a little bit more technical. They're going to have to use these smokes properly and try and get that bomb down, make things uncomfortable for the CTs here. They start getting control of the upper platforms as well. It's going to be Shara going in first, but smoked out for now. That's going to delay him, for now at least, but still 50 seconds remaining as they are setting up.
Hold that it. He'll throw the smoke through the window, aim at the light, line up essentially the 2 railings. Laylander waits for that to go through. He's got Tech 9. Fast drop, potentially down body. Shot in the air, but not taken down. It's going to be him and Shox that collect 2. Make it 3 now on the way in for Shox. Smoke won't allow him to spot Markelov, who will slide down the sidewalk, but all he really does is get greeted, confronted by an AWP, and it's a 5 versus 1 Blade. P250 in hand. And immediately dead.
Not really much you could do there. So that was a big round from Flipsid, like I said. Trying to go all in, and had it have worked out, that could have saved them this half. They could have found themselves 2 rounds off the back of that. Would have been an EK4 G2 for sure. But it doesn't really lead to anything. Good crossfires from Body and Shox. Shox getting baited in tremendously there. It's spraying them down for the upper ramp. It seems like Flipsid do like to prefer to come out of that area instead of lower. A lot of teams will favour this. Smoking out the lower ramp. Flashes come through. Molotovs towards the site, and then that's how you actually... The revolver's back. Can we get on revolver cam, please? So as Waylander, I can't even think of a logical reason you'd ever use this gun in any scenario, but we'll roll with it. We'll see what happens. It's horrible, and it's gone already. I don't think we've ever seen anyone pick up a kill with it, and we've seen it a couple of times in pro games in the last year or so, but you know, there it is. Horrible round, but...
If they get 11 rounds on this CT side, Henry,
what happens?
I'm not sure.
4 rounds, man.
I haven't gotten that far.
4 rounds.
I know. I feel bad because I called the fact that, you know, if they were going to have a good T-half. So I'm sorry, Blade. It's my fault. Sadokist is the problem.
The thing is, though, like, had they won the pistol, they would have got, well, speculating, they would have got like 6 rounds. They had the 6-0. They won the first 3 gun rounds, right? It's really difficult to get rounds on the T-half, especially if you lose that pistol and G2 start resetting you a lot. It's not necessarily you're having a bad T-half. It's just like there's the break sometimes. Like sometimes the economy runs away from you. Certain clutches or a pistol goes against you. It can be 3 rounds that are missing. So there's no reason why the same thing can't happen for G2 on the next half. It's always the thing I say. Never take these big score lines with, I guess, take it with a pinch of salt sometimes in the top levels of CS.
Well, Shox with 1 AWP, Smiths with the other. Smiths is having some fun, jumping himself up to the ticket booth. The confidence. No one else even watching the front of the A site. Just like, whatever, I'll just do it. No one's here. It's a lovely looking wall with the red light glancing off it. I miss the red light in our apartment in Bucharest.
Me too. I did tell you to turn it off, but
it's fine. Either way, Scream waiting up above. Nade smoke out. Molotov, in fact, sort of limit the movement of F3, potentially try to funnel them in towards Smiths, or allow them to go right by him. Shara picks up 2 on that. Thank you very much for the entrance at 3rd as well. Shara's got a round out of this, but he's going to need the ace, and he's not going to get it. Body comes out late. He's swapped over to an AK, and 11-4 for G2.
Yeah, it's a convincing half for sure, but it is the CT half of Train, Matt. Like I said, if Flipsid get the pistol, they get rolling, they definitely can still be in this one. So I'm going to say it's going to be a close game still. Mark my words.
I almost look like Sheldon right now. God, I hate that show. I'm going to shave and get my head shaved as well. We're going to take a break.
We will take a break.
When we come back, that's not going to happen, but maybe by tomorrow. Well, Twitch chat was right. It was Leonard that I was referencing. I don't really watch that show. The only Big Bang Theory I watch has Ron Jeremy in it. But what a half so far from G2 Esports, 11-4. Again, they lead the way. This time it's more convincing than Nuke was on a map that I would argue is actually more even.
That was a good joke. You tickled me with that one. Good work. That got me.
Do you know he's apparently on board a flight right now with Adam Acapella from MLG?
Is he really?
Yeah, according to Adam's tweet.
That's nice. Well, maybe you can get a picture, a selfie with him. That'd be a rare treat, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would.
A rare treat as well. G2 can pick up all 4 pistols tonight. If they can do that, that would pretty much solidify this game from 11-4 and pick up the pistol. That's pretty much game over. So flip side, must win pistol. And if they don't win it, they're going to need a force buy working in their favor. They're going to be up against the ropes at that point. So I still heavily favor G2 as we go forward into this one. They did pick up Nuke. If you missed it, it was 16-12 after winning both pistols again and having those huge leads. 5-0 on the first half, 7-0 in the second, and need to start picking those pistols.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a huge problem for them this evening. They're 0-3 right now on pistols, so we'll see if they can finally get something rolling, get some momentum under their wings, some wind in their sails, perhaps you could say.
I guess you could say that, as you would say.
Well, here we go. We'll see how they choose to do it. Apparently, with Blade and Shara playing utility. It's going to be Blade, the one with the kit, Shara with a smoke, nade, and a flash to complement the 2 flashes Blade has as well. On the other side, same thing. It's going to be utility all around. Scream's actually gone for a deagle rather than armor as well, so not even that.
Every
it's not
time,
even.
though.
Yeah,
this
exactly.
This is his new thing. And you can't really argue the results. It has been pretty impressive in Pro League so far. Deagle, it's hit or miss for sure in pistol rounds, but if it works, a player like Scream, he's definitely got the aim to pull it off, and let's see whether he can make it sing this time. There it is, Dan. You're called that, aren't you?
James is warned up.
Someone just texted me saying the word Dan.
Oh my God.
And I saw it.
Oh my God, I'm done. I'm done. Cut me off, I can't handle it.
It's over. The cast has fallen to pieces. The shocks, though, he hasn't, as he finds 2 Glock headshots and RPK jumps
I
as
should
well.
have just responded with, what the hell's going on, Henry?
It's literally someone just tweeted me with the word DDK in it, and I was like, well, that was in my brain, and it's the worst possible time I could see that word.
That's just
What
awful.
can he say about that, Dan?
Just when I thought we couldn't get any worse.
Whoops. Well, you know, guess it was sort of funny.
Maybe we should call them and get them to cast this.
Do a better job, probably.
That's not hard.
Well, then, it's going to be the second pistol. Going in favor of G2, a very aggressive start. We speculated whether Screen could find that deagle headshot. 1 bullet is all it required. Once again, it seems to work every single time. I have no idea how he can be so consistent with that weapon at such a long range as well, but he does it. Smith, though, looking confident towards Ivy. He takes some word at it. This isn't a full force buy from Flipside, just wasn't sure. Well, I guess World Ender didn't have that armor considering the way he went down, but it's World Ender and Shara with the armor. 5-7 and Deagles. It's pretty tough now. I guess they're looking towards the gun rounds here. They want to allow G2 to get to the closing stages and have some money to work with. But Eagle doing some damage, they can't find the kill, but that does certainly work out way.
Scream gets 1, make it a second added to it by Body. And he'll get the bomb plant as well. It's just Shara that remains in a 1 versus 4. See if he can at least get kills with this 5-7, try and build up some money. G2, again, just capitalize on momentum early, 13-4. Not much left to go in this one, James.
Thank you for the throw. It's going to be 13-4, and we'll see what Flipside bring to the table here. Round number 3, no pause coming in. They're not going to be taking the time to decide what the next move is. As they go into this, they're going to allow G2 to get to 14.
You realize that was the moment, like when you accidentally say the wrong name to the girl?
Yep, I was thinking that as well. This is like we need that one step out, and there's literally no way of coming back from it.
So Machine, DDK, who else? Yeah, exactly.
Who was that? And he's like, no one, no, just sorry.
I've never done that, thankfully.
I actually have. And it was
if I don't know their name, I just don't say it.
It was
it's
the
simple
simple
as
thing
that.
I've ever done. And I think what I just did with you might have been worse. So you never know.
Well, let's move on. Let's just move on altogether.
All right.
Do you know he was my first casting partner, technically speaking, when we did X Games? Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Scream takes Blade out, and that brings it back. Despite the pistols getting the opening kill, it's going to make this, well, our G2 just bullying right now against F3 as they tap away with a UMP. RPK gets world edit. Shara, 1 versus 4. I love that bounce off the railing on the track. Did you see that?
I didn't.
I didn't realize there was actually a collision there built into the map, so interesting.
Here we go then. As you would say, Matt, the bonus round coming in for G2 is going to be SMGs across the board. They've got tons of cash here. There's no reason for them not to get AKs, but I guess At this point, they just want to get the money as strong as possible. I'd say we just want to close the game out. Let's shut them down while they haven't got much to work with in terms of incendiaries kits. I'd say this upgrade, this finishes off. They're weak, work the body, and just try and get for that knockout punch. But they're going to be going in with the SMGs here. 14-4. You can see Flipside definitely struggling. Glass cannon with wide edit. Only one kid available. Shara smoked out towards upper ramp as well. He has to reposition himself. Could be an inside plate. Flash is coming in, just trying to flush out that lower ramp area as well. Just eradicate all possibilities. Markelov just tentatively holding. He's got no grenades left as well to hold off an inside push from 5 players of G2. Good luck.
Markelov just waiting. Waiting and catching on fire. Slight gap in that he could have played off of it. Instead, he elongates the angle, tries to open it up, but he's still blinded, still caught by the train, shuffles over. RPK presents himself on a platter, but bomb goes down. G2 has to actually pull this back. The bonus round not going to capitalize, not going to work. 1 versus 3 body. He's coming in from the other side of the map. He does actually take down Markelov on that lurk play. Goes to the Deagle. Chance to grab an AK-47 potentially. Not a chance, actually. I take that back. Sorry, I meant M4, by the way, as there was one down toward the ladder. But World Edit has the shot, and we'll go 14-5.
It's actually a pretty big deal. You even got 1 kill there with the MAC-10. You can see that that's reflected on their buy right now. Flipside still definitely not in a comfortable position after 3 players drop. They have the AWP, of course, but you can see Waylander, unless he's been dropped a weapon, yeah, he's on a FAMAS, and Markelov deciding what he's going to do. He's going to have the M4 drop from him. So it's not as bad as it potentially speculated there, but still not ideal. And it's a double AWP setup for GT. You're going to be trying to slow things down, work for these initial picks. Just 1 round to get them to match points as well. If they pick up this one, it's pretty much over for Flipside. They have to win this one. They can't afford a reset at this stage. As we get to round number 5, Shoxy looking towards Ali, just such an easy kill from him as well. What it is, sliding out of the corner and gets taken down. No flashbang, no bait in, just gives his kill away for free essentially. 5-on-4 now. At this point, they know Flipside are weak. They wait for the refaces to come in. And, oh, okay. Before Shoxy get the second one there, they have to work with that one. But Smith's boosted up towards main entrance. He makes it a 5-on-3, Matthew. Got your name right this time.
You did. Thank you. I'm glad I mean something to you still. You know, it's only been a year.
Not much, but something.
All right. We started a show. We've gone around the world. We've done lots of regrettable things that we'll never tell our grandkids about.
I don't think either of us will have grandkids.
Well, you're right. I should probably just, yeah, that should be
unless
implored by the doctors at this point in time.
Unless we're a dog, Matt, that's not happening.
Well, it's going to be Blade to take down RPK, catching off the headshot. Shox gets Blade back. I'm going to continue on as a professional would do in this situation as G2 on the brink of overtime point. Penultimate point. Shox will take down Shara and do exactly that. 15-5, G2 leads. And F3 has no cash.
Yeah, that's a real hard reset for them. You can see what Flipside are up to. They were trying to work those picks. They had the AWP, but hoping Wild Edit can find that similar form he had in the first half as well. But Shoxy just holding the tight corner. Hits that first shot, and then you can see the whole round fell apart. For Flipside at that point, had to go refacing, and Smith's got another kill towards main entrance. That double AWP setup working very efficiently for them. Potentially the last round here, it's 5 pistols, and you can see GT doing it as well. This will be going towards main entrance to bully their way into the victory here. As Waylander fully flash towards E-Box. They do find the first kill here. This could get interesting. It's going to be a bit chaotic as Markelov gets the first 2. Brags at a 5-7. Blade comes in as well. It is all of a sudden a 4-on-2, and they just surrounded the terrorists here. Now it's just down to Shox, as he does get confronted by Wild Edit, staying alive for now, but somehow Flipside come out on top with just those pistols. It was GT just thinking, okay, they've only got pistols, let's just go out together towards main. We'll finish this off right here, right now, but somehow Flipside hold on.
Yeah.
Just about.
Well, just about. There's still massive amounts of cash on the G2 side. Body has 10K, which will allow the drop to RPK, and I believe he dropped Shox. I'm not 100% sure. I didn't see the money spent from Shox, but I think he dropped both in that case. So this should be last buy if they don't win this one. Now the guns are back up on the F3 side. It's a lifeline. Or is it really just, at this point, all for glory? To salvage something.
There we go then. The first pick has come in, the much needed first pick. So they take 9 rounds in a row now for Flipside just to force overtime. A lot to hold on to. But you know, stranger things have happened. Ordered in out in a good position towards Ivy. Body will be there. Flashbang comes in and does actually hit in the leg shot as well. That's his work done for this round essentially. He knows he doesn't damage there, so he smokes him off and forces him to rotate as he's going to go join his comrades towards Haven out. Tension building though. G2 still have a shout in this round. Got utility left over. It's going to be 3 smoke grenades, Molotovs as well, flashbangs in abundance. They start to get control of the inner halls as well.
RPK will wait patiently this time as F3 with a man and 3/4 advantage as Body's down on 16 HP. Shara waiting, will get that last quarter of the man. Could you imagine if you shrunk when you got shot, Henry? I should probably get off the drugs with that thought, right? Could you imagine if you actually shrunk to the percentage of your HP? If you had 1 HP, it would be an advantage.
Just trying to imagine any
It'd be like running around
reason.
DE rats. You could run under the trains.
Do you want to finish this one off?
Yeah, Shox has 2. Blade, he goes down. It's Markelov, and suddenly things have turned. Who has to try and pull this back bomb planted in G2? They've got a round now as they bust inside of the B site. Markelov's looking to solve that, but he has to reload before he can take down Shox. He's on 20 HP. Top of the train, potentially. No, crossfire set. Scream doesn't need to peek it. This will throw off Markelov because he thinks he's over there, and he was right, but it's going to be 16-6 in the end for G2 Esports.
G2 picking up both pistols there, and this looks like they weren't going to drop a single thing. The CT half very effective. They had that huge lead at the start, and there was a bit of a comeback for Flipside. I think they got 3 rounds in a row, but then it just fell apart. G2 just punishing their money, swapping over, and pretty grim storyline for Flipside. Just had to take the ecos and got to the 14th round. They found a couple, but couldn't hold on. Very efficient stuff from G2, and they do win the series 2-0.
They do, well 2 individual maps. We have to clarify that. I know most viewers are probably regular at this point in time and know that, but for anyone who doesn't, it's 2 best-of-1s. It's just double headers for the sake of scheduling. It makes it a lot easier for the teams and for you guys to sort of build a storyline throughout the evening rather than just quick snippets of each team. But, I mean, that does make a big difference in the overall table. Remember, G2 started off, they were runner-up last year in a best-of-5 against Luminosity, now SK. And they started off 0-6 this year, so they've got a steep hill to climb.
2-0s over and over again to get them back in contention for the title. But yes, impressive results for them tonight, and let's see what they're destined for. Mitch, are you ready for us? I don't think he is.
He's not.
I'm never ready for you guys.
There they are.
No, I don't know if there's any preparation that could get me sorted for that one. But gents, okay, the G2 CT side meme may be dead. That was quite a strong performance from them just to kick things off. Really just keeping Flipside at arm's length, which is generally something Flipside want to play around here. But 4 rounds on the T side is just not enough.
It's definitely not, but I mean, in the early part of the first half, they were dealing quite well with G2's aggressiveness and managed to produce rounds that were sitting at equal scoreline. And there were rounds where G2's economy could have been broken easily, and that could have led into 2-3 more rounds, which could have potentially made this into a whole different game. But then when you end up with those 4 rounds, that'll leave you a lot of room for error. And then you lose the pistol round in the second half. Scream starts off with the Deagle headshot, and then you just get run over on the inner bomb side. It's just going to be, waiting for the inevitable.
Yeah, I think that's a big point of this matchup, that Flipside lost all pistol rounds, all 4 of them pretty much. And, even though they bounced back in the first half almost immediately, it was World who got the initial entry kills with the AWP in both of those rounds. And that's where you would expect, okay, Flipside, now they pressured G2's economy. This is where they can get more rounds. But G2 really stepped up from that point on. They had a couple of good moves towards the team mid. You could see how they were trying to flush players out with Molotovs and then get some kills when they were forced to reposition. So you could see that they had an idea of how to counter Flipside's playstyle, but more than anything else, it was them having really strong holds individually, which is a good thing to see for all G2 fans, because that was what they struggled the most with in their previous matches here in Pro League.
Body, obviously, this is an important position for any team, especially as that B-bomb side often has a little bit less attention from a CT side, but he and Shox are holding that one down quite nicely. Well, yeah, I mean, this is a good example of that as well. When you try and drop one on the side, this is, I guess, a force here for Flipside. They managed to salvage a couple AKs from the round prior there, and then obviously they tried to hit on towards that A side a few times. They managed to sneak that cheeky little round towards the end there as well with pistols. Obviously, they made a pretty brash entry, but I think we can leave that as more of a footnote on this game than anything else, gents.
Yeah, I mean, the second half, really, G2 didn't really have to do all too much, considering the lead they made in the first half, and then winning the second pistol round as well. I mean, I think, it's kind of telling of what happened in the round where they had 2 ops, Shox and Smits both have ops, and then basically Flipside just gives a 5-on-3 advantage before, well, G2 has to really do anything. I mean, so, they didn't really get to test G2's T-side at all.
Well, boys, let's close the book on this match and the rest of the matches from tonight. We can have a little bit of a glance back over what we did see this evening, as we had 4 interesting maps come out here. Starting off with the Score Esports hot match of the week, actually proved to be a little bit more exciting than we thought.
less moist than I.
Yeah,
you know,
not quite. A
wanted it to
little
be.
drier.
Initially expected, yeah. I mean, it looked like VP had everything in their hands, you know, after Cobblestone. They had the 14-1 T-side half on that map initially. Penta managed to make it respectable with a 16-7 scoreline in the end, but on Cash we saw a complete flip side to the story where Penta really showed up. They shown their potential, and VP was a bit shaky again. They had a couple of key situations which they didn't play, you know, optimally, so to speak, and that cost them the map in the end.
Speaking of flip side, then we moved obviously over towards Nuke there, where they did definitely let G2 in the door there with a lot of those T-side rounds going over towards the French side there. And now the rest is history, ladies and gentlemen. So let's have a look at what's coming up later on tonight. A bit of an interesting situation is going to be happening over in the NA region. We are going to be having Cloud9 versus Renegades. Now, the first, we got Mirage. I think we're having 3 Mirages tonight, if I'm not mistaken.
1,
yes, so
2, 3, yes.
yeah, the first series, Cloud9 versus Renegades, and obviously after that one, we'll be moving on towards Liquid versus SK, and there's a lot of Mirage maps happening here as well. So tomorrow, let's have a look at these ones coming up now. It's going to be Fnatic versus Hellraisers to kick things off. A good way to continue to get a feel for how Fnatic are developing through with this new roster. And then what should prove to be a very interesting game. Yes, Astralis may have dropped the ball over at Power Land, but they're back online up against FaZe. Guys, I think I'd have to put it out there and say that's definitely a game to be watching.
Definitely, and this is more like it. We have 4 different maps. Tomorrow we don't have a bunch of caches again. Yeah, and I think that also I saw Device tweet out that he had 0 hours after he came back from the holiday, but now he's up to 100 hours again. And you know,
over
in
2
those
weeks,
yes, in those losses that Astralis had, he was really underperforming. In some games, he was the statistically the worst performer on the team, which is something you don't expect from Device. He's been super consistent and the best player for his team throughout the year. So I think with that, and maybe a little bit of a wake-up call at Powerland as well. Maybe they were thinking, okay, that's online. On land, we'll still have our thing. Losing to Heroic over there as well. I think that right now Astralis is boot camping again, and I think they'll show up in stronger form.
Well, we'll have to wait and see, ladies and gentlemen. We will be back here tomorrow night as well. If you did miss some of the games this evening, we've got you covered. You can get your hands on the Score esports app. It's available for the iOS and for Android machines. You can head over to your respective app stores and download that one as well. And if you're like us and you're probably going to have a little bit of a sleep, but you still want to know the NA scores in the morning, you can use the app to check them out as well. Guys, it's been a pleasure to have you on the desk for tonight. We'll be seeing these guys again tomorrow night. And of course, the usual suspects over on the casters desk. So from all of us here, thank you very much for watching. Good night. We'll see you tomorrow.